OS Trek. Stardate 7402.3 to 7403.0. Counselor's Office. I entered the office of the ship's counselor, Lieutenant Commander Linda Kyril. Captain Steinway, what can I do for you today? It's more like what I can do for you. What do you mean, Captain? I have a memo from Starfleet in regards to ship's counselors, and it seems our ship is as large and as many people that we have on board as it is, it's not officially large enough to require a ship's counselor. Okay, so tell me, what does that mean? To be, how large does it need to be? Counselor, 200 or more is the point at which a ship is required to have a ship's counselor. The ship's counselor looked worried. Are you saying that I'm going to have to get off the ship? No, I'm not saying that, counselor. However, I may not officially be able to give reason to have you on board. You may stay on until you reach a destination that you're willing to part with me on, like where you can get off. If that is Earth, then quite simply you would stay on board until we reach Earth and then leave the ship. Another thing is that if Starfleet needs a counselor on another ship or at a starbase, they're likely to ask for you, and it is very likely that they can ask that you be reassigned. Well, if that's what Starfleet wants, then who am I to argue that, right, Captain? Counselor, you do not need my permission to argue with Starfleet. I, however, am not going to argue with Starfleet as much as I like you and want to keep you around. On the other hand, if we were a hospital care ship, or, I don't know, if you were my wife or something like that, I understand, Captain. I guess you'll have to marry me. She smiled. We both laughed. Yeah, right. On second thought, I will fight for you, if that's what you wanted. Captain, what is our next stop? Our next port of call is Earth. Very well, Captain. How long do I have to pack? We should be to Earth in 2 days from now, so that's how long you have. But really, don't start packing, Counselor. I will contact you when I know more. With nothing else to say about the issue, I said, "Thank you, Counselor," and then turned and left the counselor's office. Captain on the bridge, said Commander Green, getting up from the captain's chair and swapping out with me. I looked at the main viewer, showing that we were at sublight speed number 4, and we had put something in our 3 cargo bays. That would be the strange appearance of the satellite spinning in space that we took on. Time was currently 7402.403, and we had an ETA to Earth of 7403.3. The plan was to be at 3.2, so I guess I missed it by a day whenever I told the counselor she had 2 days. Ops, increase our speed to 0.5. Increasing speed to 0.5, said Tabitha Green. I saw my second in command walk into the bridge from somewhere, and as he sat down on my left, I rose to my feet and said, "Fowler, you have the bridge." "Aye, Captain." "Miss Green, I need to see you in my office. Follow me." I entered my office. Commander Tabitha Green walks in. "You wanted to see me, Captain?" "Yes, Tabitha. So, by my count, there are 39 crew quarters left vacant as of now. Am I correct?" "Yes, Captain, you're correct." "Miss Green, I do believe you also received a memo from Starfleet regarding our ship's counselor and the open slots for the ship? Yes, Captain. I think the one thing that Starfleet is not looking at is the amount of crew we could accommodate in one of our cargo holds, and so there's an excuse to allow the counselor to stay if she wishes to fight the issue. Thank you, Tabitha. That's all I needed to hear. Dismissed, and have Fowler come into my office. Aye, aye, sir. Tabitha exited the captain's office, and I watched her go, followed by the entrance of my first officer. You wish to see me, Captain? Asked Commander Dan Fowler, entering the office. Yes, number one. Could you please assist our ship's counselor in possibly saving her position on the ship, even if Starfleet says that the ship of our size do not require them? Captain, we have plenty of room for the counselor and a staff of even 10 people besides. We also have a cargo bay that usually stays empty, so you could push in people there. People became the cargo, said Fowler. I understand, Commander. You're dismissed. Aye, sir. Fowler turned on his heels and exited my office. I used my communicator. Counselor, this is the captain. Over. This is the counselor. Go ahead, Captain. Counselor, you do not need to depart the ship if you do not wish to. We've found plenty of room for you, and even for your staff. Well, thank you, Captain. You kind of set my mind at ease with that. However, I would like to pay a visit to some family since we are going to be on Earth, and I have to admit that if Starfleet may call me to another mission, you better be ready to let me go if that's the case. We'll provide you with a shuttle, and you may take your staff along as well as, as soon as we reach Earth. Over. Thank you, Captain. No problem. Captain Steinway out. I had mixed feelings about this. Captain's Level 4 log. Stardate 7402.409. For my most recent conversation with our ship's counselor, I have a feeling that she is going to stay on Earth. Maybe we can get by. End of Captain's Level 4 log. I stayed in my office researching the issue and history of counselors on ships. I found that, indeed, they had not been needed in most cases, and that for counseling purposes, captains had, for the most part, stopped at way stations, and it was taken care of there. I now suspected that Starfleet is likely to assign our counselor to one of those stations. My communicator chimed, Captain, to the bridge. We have a contact. Over. On the way. Out. I entered the bridge, glanced at the screen. What's the contact? Number one. Answer, Lieutenant Commander Hartfield. What do you have? Said Commander Fowler to the blue-collar S2 behind us. One identified ship, matching our course at our 5 o'clock position. He is at sublight 3 currently. I logged in at first at sublight 5, and then he changed course to match ours. Looking at our view screen, I saw that we were still at speed number 5. Our ETA had not changed. Changing again, sir, said Hatfield. He's now topping at sublight 6 and is gaining on us slowly. The computer estimates a could be at our position in about 1 hour. Is that a metric hour? Right, I said. No, sir, that's 1 Earth standard hour. Sorry. No, Hatfield. However, you should give it to me in metric at this point, just so we can plot it against the star date. That's 591 plus 041 is what? 636? Yes, that's right. 041 is approximately 1 Earth hour, right? That's affirmative, Captain, said Hatfield. I like to see the letters Tango 636 showing on the view screen. Yellow alert, I said. I watched as the target 636 was now in yellow. The 636 would indicate the time metrically of when the target would be upon us at the current speed and direction. It seems our boredom is over, sir, commented Commander Fowler. I nodded. Seems so. Number 1, we're going to go off shift before that thing gets here, but I'll be damned if I'm going to make it mess up my schedule. I will use communicators to deal with this, I said, rising to my feet. I'll be in my office with a cup of coffee, Number 1. You can deal with any snack or coffee issues as you wish. Keep me advised. You have the bridge, Number 1. Aye, aye, sir. I went back to my office. Captain on the bridge, said the replacement ops officer. Shift change had just occurred. It was now metric time 600 hours, and this was the second shift. This was headed up by Lieutenant LeBrook. I took my position at the captain's chair and looked at the view screen to see our target had sped up slightly. The target would still be about 40 old Earth minutes away. I glanced around the room and saw that Hatfield had stayed at his post. Good man, I thought. LeBrook was at ops now. Commander Fowler, this is Captain, over. This is Fowler. If you're asking where I'm at, I'm on the way back to the bridge shortly, over. Affirmative. Thank you, Commander, over. Need any snacks? Over. Bring popcorn. This might be good. Over. Actual popcorn, sir? Over. Negative. Unless you really want to. Steinway, out. I shook my head, wondering if he was actually going to show up with some popcorn now. I looked at the readout on the view screen. Target vessel is going to be coming right abeam, sir, said Hatfield. Distance. Oh, I see it there. Approximately 635. 5,000 meters. Communications, open the hailing channel, I said. Channel open, sir, said Ensign Skynes. This is Earth vessel Starfleet vessel Saxon to the ship approaching to my right, over. Saxon, this is Mars vessel Creel, over. State your purpose for matching our course, over. We'd like to know if you found a stray satellite, over. So that's what this is about, said Fowler as he entered the bridge at this point. I glanced over to see if there was any popcorn. Didn't see any. To the Mars vessel, Creel, was it? We indeed found a satellite. However, you will need to follow us as far as Earth and stand off at your current distance and slow your speed. Over. We want it back. So you're saying we have to go all the way to Earth to obtain the satellite that we own? That is indeed what I'm saying. Your ownership has yet to be determined. Over. But what right do you have? Over. We are a Starfleet vessel and we claim the satellite by rights of salvage, if for no other reason. I doubt that you have a certification to transport such equipment as the satellite. Over. Our ship has weapons. Over. I've already given you the information you need to comply with. However, if you intend to use those weapons, be ready for we can probably blow you out of space. Over. No problem. See you at Earth. Creel out. Hatfield said, the Creel is registered as a private cargo hauler from Mars. Some have called them privateers. They probably have low-powered lasers as their weapons. No threat, really. We have no information on why they would have a satellite other than the real possibility it's probably stolen. I would consider them pirates, sir, said Hatfield. Acknowledged, I said. Our pirate target is now making a slight right turn and is reducing speed, said Hatfield. I glanced at the main viewer. I saw that they were still a possible threat and would stay at yellow alert. Everyone on first shift, you're dismissed. LeBrook, you have the bridge. Aye, sir. We will keep an eye on them. I said, you seem to get all the good stuff every time we come across something out there. It seems like it's on your shift. What's the deal? Just lucky, I guess, said LeBrook. Let me know if the Mars, what's it called? It's the Creel or the Creel? Anyway, if it moves back in our direction or acts threatening, keep me advised. Aye, aye, Captain, said LeBrook. I departed the bridge and went back to my quarters. Captain Steinway's quarters. I was awakened from a good sleep by communications. A deep voice said, Captain, this is the bridge, over. Go ahead, over. Lieutenant Ross, sir. Thought you would want to know that the target has left our sensors completely and is no longer an issue. Looks like it headed in the direction of the moon. Also thought you might like to know we recalculated the retrograde burn to Earth. Had to slow us to about speed 4, and we will still make it to the starbase around Earth at 7403.4. Over. Roger that, Lieutenant. Over. Condition green, sir. Over. Affirmative. Take us to condition green. Over. Aye, aye, sir. Condition green. Bridge out. By the time I was up and on the bridge the next day, we would be at Earth. I couldn't have timed it any better if I had timed it that way. And with that blurry thought, I lay back down to sleep. This is the end of this episode. Be sure to check the timeline to see or hear what happens next. A programming note. If you've noticed so far, I've stopped calling them by episode numbers. Well, I'm simply going by the star date, so yes, you could say logically it is a number. So, but that's what I've started doing on a trial basis. I am Eugene, the son of Douglas, the author of this series. Thanks for listening.